And some music. Checking Twitch.
Yeah, looks like we're going.
Yeah, YouTube's jumped up. I'm not seeing it on
Facebook. It popped up.
Yeah. You know what's funny is we're not like the first ones that come up when you put in the Gaming Watch.
On where?
Twitch.
Oh.
They have all these other ones that are not named anything near what we're called, and I can never find us.
That damn algorithm. It's kicking our butt.
Let me just go Gaming Watch and see if that brings it up. And go channels. Yeah, no. So, whatever. We're going. If we're up, we're up. All right. Greetings, citizens of the internet. I'm Static Buzz, and I got to fix my notes here real quick. And this is the Gaming Watch Weekly Show number 25 for January 19th, 2020. And it's titled tentatively Delays, and More Delays.
Very true.
So with me,
Lots of delays.
Yes, lots of delays. With me, as usual, is Oz. How you been? I know you've been running around all over the country lately.
Well, not all over. I basically bounced between St. Louis and Ohio. And it was kind of the week from hell, so I got back yesterday, and this week I'm not going out on the road. So I'm thankful for that, because I'm tired.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. Let's see. All right, so I guess we'll start off with something that's not a delay.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate tweet. So on their Twitter page, they tweeted, the caption was something brewing, hashtag Baldur's Gate 3. With a short video, and at the end of the video, they showed... So the video, they had like some... looked like production type stuff that was going on. They had motion capture and other things like that. Not really too much gameplay.
Okay.
But at the end of the video, they redid the text something brewing with a date underneath it, 2/27/2020. So at the end, the beginning of next week, that would be Monday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be something from them, hopefully. Maybe some.
Oh, end of next month if it's 2/27. So.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking this month.
Yeah, we're not quite that far.
No, you're right. Good catch. So, yeah, 2/27. Yeah, so next month they should have something. Maybe release date, maybe some actual gameplay footage. I don't know. What do you think they're going to show?
I'm thinking more of gameplay and maybe a potential release date. But I think it's mostly to show us what they've got, because we haven't seen gameplay yet. We've seen a cinematic, which was really good, but no gameplay, and that's what we're all wanting to see for this IP. So.
Yeah. Gameplay, we're all about it. Show us.
Yes. Give me some gameplay. I do like the cutscenes, but in the end, it's all about the gameplay.
Indeed. I am definitely hoping for something there. And if it's next month, I mean, do you think this game's going to release this year, or do you think it'll be next year?
If it is this year, it's going to be in the latter part of the year, like maybe towards the end.
November.
I'm guessing more towards next year. I mean, to be honest. Unless they have a lot more than we have been shown. But usually with games that are coming out, I mean, if they're because we heard about it at E3, so, and then we saw the cinematic, but nothing else along the way. Was that
E3 or was that the Gaming Awards?
I thought it was E3. We saw the.
Or was it the Google Stadia? Yeah, it was Google Stadia's thing around E3.
Yeah, I still think we saw at least the cinematic around E3, but whatever. Nonetheless,
specifics.
But I think we still would have had more in hand as opposed to just something brewing. I mean, that's kind of like that whole Mass Effect thing where it's like, here's this, here's that, and then we're like, well, I want more than just
this or that
rendering and art, that type of stuff. I want full on, gameplay. So
yeah, so do I. So this next one, I'm sure, has got you a little sad.
Yeah.
And actually, the next two are yours, so just go ahead and do them both because they're related.
So this is not just one, but two for Cyberpunk 2077. There is an overall game delay, unfortunately, so it has been rescheduled to September, which kind of makes me sad because I was really looking forward to getting a hold of that. And they haven't said why. I mean, we've speculated it's
Keanu.
because they amped up Keanu's screen time. And the second one is the multiplayer probably won't be out until next year. And this one came out due to a Q&A with an investor, and they said probably not till 2021. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait for both. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're both a little sad for that one.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to that one.
And I gotta fix my notes real quick because I just realized what I did. So, I'm not happy with that. I was looking forward to it, especially because there was some things that had moved away from it. You know what I mean? That were, avoiding the same release date as it, and I was definitely looking forward to being able to play it without worrying about missing other games. When Final Fantasy... I'm not going to talk about that one. But, yeah, when we get to that one, I'll talk about that one. So,
okay. All right, fair enough.
I almost went to another story. All right. So, we got delays. We're not happy. Multiplayer, I don't really think I care too much about that. What do you think?
No, not unless it's... for me, multiplayer is always one of those things where it's like, I'll try it at least once or twice, and then if I have a bad experience with it, I usually never pick it up again. So it was kind of like Andromeda. Like, I played it a little bit, but it was always... I never had a great time with it. So I would hope this one would be a lot better. But, for me, it's Cyberpunk. So I just want the story. That's all I really care about.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we all want. So, yeah. All right. So going into the next one, which is a little bit of a better story. You get to be the bearer of bad news today, just so you know.
Yeah, well, I think I went into writing my notes knowing that was the role I was going to take for today, but it was like, someone's got to let people know, so I guess it'll be me.
Somebody's got to do it. Well, you're dressed in black, so it's appropriate.
Yes, well, that's just me. So.
You dark Sith. All right, so the next story is Overwatch Lunar New Year celebration. So celebrate the year of the rat. Get ready to ring in the 2020 Lunar New Year with more seasonal items, exciting weekly challenges and rewards, and the new brawl, Capture the Flag Blitz. Don't know what that is. We're commemorating. Use your words. Got to use my words. The year of the rat with an abundance of new skins, highlight intros, emotes, and sprays for players to unlock. Fly a delightful kite as Bastion, savor some hot soup with Baptiste, or show your Lunar New Year's spirit with new legendary skins like Opera Bridget, Face Changer Sombra, Mass Dancer Mora, and Samuel Nori Lucio. Samuel Nori. What is Samuel Nori? I don't know what that is. I wish we had I should probably look up some screenshots for those.
Torbjorn he's always left out, man. He always gets the short end of the stick. That always makes me sad because I like his character and I play him a lot when I do play Overwatch. But yeah, poor Torbjorn. It's probably because he's not a tournament character. No one ever plays him in competitive play.
Yeah, I don't know.
I going to BlizzCon, like I watched a lot of it there. Nobody ever takes Torbjorn. ever. And I don't think he has a competitive build. It's just,
well, his turret's too squishy, and even though it does do decent damage when it's up, it's too squishy, and even if he's sitting there repairing it, he's kind of out of the action, is not killing anybody. So
he's not throwing out.
Yeah, he's more of a support character than anything. I like
his character though.
Yeah, it's just like Junkrat, right? How many people play Junkrat?
I play a lot of Junkrat.
I like Junkrat, but a lot of people don't. I like Lucio, but nobody really plays Lucio.
I will play Lucio if a healer is needed, but I don't. I'll just go around in the healing spec, and I don't really have to go. Oh, I'm healing. I'm just near you, and you're healing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about all I do when it comes to those guys. I'm more of Soldier 76 who doesn't have competitive play. Like, I just don't do any of the competitive guys.
All right, so more bad news coming up.
So it looks... Oh, you had another one here, Legends of Cold Steel.
I moved that. Refresh.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, so... another delay, unfortunately. Watch Dogs Legion has now been delayed. Watch Dogs Legion, one of the several upcoming Ubisoft games, suffers setback. It was originally due to come out March 6th, and the developers have pushed it back. So it's pushed back to October now. So, yeah. That's another one I was really looking forward to, and now we get to wait a little bit longer. It seems to be... I mean, I don't mind delays as long as it's for good reasons, like let's make the game better. Because for a while, I remember Ubisoft was kind of cranking them out, and I think they kind of learned their lessons with the last Ghost Recon. So...
no, they're still supporting that one.
Legion would be pushed back to fiscal year 2020-2021, which begins April 1st, but declined to give a more specific date. So, yeah, we're basically going to have to wait. So
October, November.
Yep, says that. But that's always a busy time in gaming where they're starting to push stuff out because of the holiday season.
And let's not forget new consoles are being released at end of this year.
Yes. And, and that's a whole new... I was going to do let me see, did you put this in there? But there was that one PlayStation game that... it's the girl who kills the dinosaurs. They're porting that over.
Horizon Zero Dawn. It's a rumor. Yeah. It's a rumor. Yes. So,
but if you've noticed, there's been a lot of push at the end of last year to move console games over to PC. And I've been saying all along, let's just blanket do this. None of this specific, stuff, because what it does is it leaves people like me out who natively I would prefer to play everything on the PC and not on a console. If you're a console guy, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to judge you, but when it comes...
You say that with a big grin on your face.
Well, it's because we all know the PC is the superior gaming
but
platform.
It comes with its own set of issues, though. I mean, PC, you have to be a little more savvy. You can't just plug and play. We know this.
But so with a PC, you can plug in a controller, USB, it'll recognize, and you can go. If you want the controller feel. I don't like specifics. There's a lot of games that like I played on the PlayStation where I'm like, I wish it would come out on PC, and then all of a sudden it's like Red Dead Redemption Ruber coming to PC. Then all of a sudden it's there.
Yeah.
And it's like, should have waited. And then what is that one you just finished? Shoot, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember.
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, and that was another one. I was like, it should have went straight to PC as well, but
it's coming.
It's coming. So it's one of those things where I'm like, let's just develop these things on all platforms and stop just doing. I don't care if you release it a little earlier on a console or something, but give it to me in a decent amount of time to where I'm not getting spoilers.
I think those things are developmental issues, because to develop on, say, Xbox and PlayStation are two different platforms. You got to work on it two different ways, and then also the PC. Now, if you're using something like Unity or Unreal Engine, those all have the ability to push it out to those specific platforms. But at the same time, you've got to have a build for Xbox, and then you've got to test it, make sure everything works, and then you troubleshoot that and fix the bugs. But then you got to do the same thing for PlayStation, same thing for PC. So that adds into the development time. So I understand that you don't want exclusives, and I'm the same way. I wish I could just have one console and my PC and just not worry about it. But at the same time, I think some games wouldn't happen if the Microsofts and Sonys weren't throwing money at them to make those games. And now I think we have Epic doing the same thing, throwing money at developers to make games for them and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of the problem. I mean, in a perfect world, it would be, all games released on everything. I'm just saying, I want to see it that way. I know it's not a perfect world and it'll never happen. You're always going to have exclusives because that's just how it's done. But I am glad to see that the rumors, or that they're bringing, Horizon over and stuff like that. Because I wanted to play that, and I'm like...
Well, that's not officially announced, so don't get too excited. Well, you have a PlayStation,
we said the
though.
Same thing with Red Dead Redemption. It's like, don't get excited, and it happened. So I'm like, it could happen.
We knew Red Dead was going to happen. I mean, they've been doing all their games to PC, except for the original Red Dead. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if this delay and the delay before weren't specifically so that they could be in that launch window for the consoles. Because most of the PlayStation, the Xbox are going to be backwards compatible, basically.
Yep.
Even though we don't know exactly what that means on them, they should be able to, especially digitally, play the games on either one. If I want to play on my Xbox One X, or if I get an Xbox Series X, I should be able to play on either or.
Well, yeah.
And it should be the same with these games.
Well, yeah. So, we knew that there was the backwards compatibility that was coming with it. And that's good. I mean, I think, and that's another thing I really dislike with the consoles is sometimes this should always go, play the older stuff on the newer systems. I don't like that they've kind of gotten away from that. So...
Well, I'm thinking that part of these delays are because of the console releases. They want to not only be able to put them on there, but they want to sell them on there as launch titles and those kind of things. But they're still going to be on the older ones as well. I think that's what they're doing. I think it's just a strategic move more than a development issue.
Well, I mean, I also would like to think that it's them taking time to fix things and polish it, unlike what they did.
No, it gives them time.
Yeah, because of the fact that, certain games, not going to keep kicking the same one, that they released it, and there's certain ones that were turds, It's like, come on, take your time, fix these things, and then release them. I get it, you want to hurry up and get them out there, but again, it's not all about the money, The customer will keep coming back if you take care of them and give them something that they want, So,
yep,
that's just me.
Well, I think the game you're talking about, if I was to guess, hold on, let me take a swig of water here.
Sure.
All right, the game you're talking about, which I believe I know which one it is, I think that came down more to design decisions more than anything, because the game played like the earlier one. The mechanics of it
a little bit
didn't feel
a little bit,
with the exception of having a squad with you and everything.
Well, that, and it became more of a
looter shooter, but that's a design decision.
Well, yeah, and that I think was the mistake of that one. It shouldn't have been a looter shooter because its predecessors weren't. Yeah. They just wanted to build off the success of the Division 2, which is. And it does it well, but it was designed to be that way.
From the get-go.
Yeah, from the start.
All right, so now on to some more positive news, I guess.
Sure.
Elder Scrolls Online talked about their next expansion, DLC stuff. I don't even know what they call this stuff when it comes to ESO. But so last year they had the Dragon one, and they basically released things throughout the year. So they're going to do the same thing with this one, and it's called Greymore Chapters is what's they're calling it, or the Dark Heart of Skyrim. I don't really know what the actual title of it is, but an ancient evil emerges from the depths, intent on devouring the souls of Skyrim. A dark tide of monsters rise from Blackreach and threaten to plunge all of Tamriel into darkness. In the Dark Heart of Skyrim, you can experience a new year-long adventure beginning with the upcoming Harrowstorm DLC Dungeon Pack. Okay, so there we go. And continuing through the Greymore chapter and beyond, you can experience the entire massive story in these upcoming releases. So they got Harrowstorm DLC, Greymore chapter, and then they got an unannounced Q3 DLC Dungeon Pack, and an unannounced Q4 DLC Story Zone. And they say keep an eye out for more updates. So that's what they're doing. I still dabble in ESO. ESO is a good game. I wish I had a group of friends that played it, but
baited that. It's a good game.
The Blackreach, I don't know if you remember this in Skyrim. I guess I never got to it because it's really hard to get to. I guess you have to swim out to where you think the map ends to like this island, and there's a hermit there who gives you the key to get to Blackreach. I never did that. In Skyrim. I watched
a lot of Skyrim.
I know, and I bet you not many people did this, but because the developers were talking and showing this off, and that's what he was saying. He's told how you got to Blackreach in Skyrim. Well, at any rate, Blackreach in Skyrim is going to be a lot smaller than it will be in ESO. ESO is going to be like a whole underground, cavernous thing with all kinds of creatures and whatever cities going on down there. I don't know. Sounded pretty interesting. And if they do it like they did everything else, I don't know if you know this, but what they did in ESO, maybe year 2, 3, I can't remember when they did it, but they basically made wherever you start, it's your level. So everything scales to your level.
Oh, okay.
So as you can go to wherever you want and play, and it's your level. So if you just want to skip the beginning area because you've done it 10 times, you can go. And when they start a new expansion, like the Dragon one, you start at that expansion.
See, that's interesting. That's a weird way to do it.
But it's kind of cool. I mean, like I have characters that are still in the old areas, the areas that when the game started, and then I've started characters after expansions came up, and I have them in the new areas, and yeah. I don't have any max level characters, though. I just can't seem to find the time to play that much of it.
Yeah, I touch it very rarely. It's kind of like with the Old Republic for Star Wars. It's like I play that, and I'm playing it now to get caught up in the story. And that's another one I wish I had people to play with. And that one is because I do enjoy that game quite a bit.
I have characters, but they're all on the light side, so.
No, I play Empire, and most of my characters are dark side. I do have a couple light side characters because I wanted to unlock the light side ability to go along with it, but generally when I play a game like that, it's all about being a Sith, so. Yeah. But yeah, so.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all about time. I mean, there's so much stuff out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And yeah, I'm working on like 4 games right now. I don't know if you knew that. No. Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot, Final Fantasy 15, Trails of in the Sky, and I just started streaming Tokyo Mirage Session FE Encore. So I'm working on 4 games right now. So
yeah.
that's enough for me.
Yeah.
All right, so if you want to take the next set of bad news.
Sure. So Rainbow Six Quarantine is delayed. Its announcement was announced. The delay was announced at the same time Watch Dogs was pushback was announced. So they're basically saying, hey, most of our games are being pushed back from their current dates to whenever, and they're saying this one probably not going to see it any sooner than April 1st. And yeah, so again, we're looking at all of the games we had previously announced were what's coming out on our what's coming 2020, and a week later we're looking at all of these pushback notifications. So another sad delay. Now, I'm not really a Rainbow Six guy, so this really doesn't affect me in the slightest, but it's just sad to see that again, another delay for the gaming community. So we get to wait.
My son plays a lot of Rainbow Six, so I know all about the game, but I really don't enjoy it. I played it beta or alpha. I can't remember how early it was, but I played it early on, and I just knew it wasn't for me, having this, it's repetitive and everything. But there is some strategic stuff in there, and there's also characters unlocks and stuff like that. Yep. So I fully understand the people who do enjoy it and why they enjoy it. It's just not a game for me.
Yeah, it's not one that I enjoy. I baited the last one. I got a key for it. Didn't even sign up for it, but Ubisoft's like, "Hey, try it." I played it for 2 days, and I was like, "No. I really just don't. I just don't enjoy this at all. Like, if it had a more robust story, maybe, but it's all around multiplayer." Yeah. And I am not multiplayer when it comes to those type of shooters. So
I don't mind the multiplayer, but I'm average at best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm probably less than that. So I am not good at any of the Rainbow Six games.
All right. So we're gonna go to a more positive story again. Mm-hmm. WoW Visions of, how do you say that? N'Zoth. Yep. Is now live. The old god N'Zoth has been unleashed from his Titanrot prison, and an ancient corruption has taken root across Azeroth, turning friends into foes and trapping warriors' minds in nightmare visions of a hopeless future. As despair and madness consumes the land, the heroes of the Horde and the Alliance will need to fight for their sanity, and the fate of their wounded world is in this content update. So what it has is it's got new features. It's got 2 new allied races. It's got the Foxlight Volplera for the Horde. It's got the Mecha Gnomes for the Alliance.
Yeah,
and pass. It's also got Assaults and N'Zoth horrific visions. New corruption-tainted weapons and gear. New legendary cloak to craft and upgrade. And I think it's called Azra Kamas is the name of that cloak. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's Shroud of Resolve. So yeah, it's Azra Kamas Shroud
of Resolve. Yeah.
And then it has a raid that takes you into the heart of the Black Empire, Ny'alotha, the Waking City, and much more. And I put a little note down here, 440 gear, because I did a little bit of this earlier today. I started it into this content. And so what they did is they had an older area, the what's that area that looks like it's Egyptian with those guys? You know when you go to
is it in the old Is it in the old?
Yeah, you know when you go to Silithus and they got the heart of. So if you go back to the closest area, so you're kind of
talking about. Yeah,
it looks like it's all over, but that's where it starts when you go there. And then there's like they took a big section of the map and they put like this green thing around it on the map, not in it, not actually on the physical map, but on the map you see. When you hit M, and in there you got the 100% gauge where you got to go and try to build it up, and then there's like a side or daily quest, side quest, I don't know. And I did the side quest where I had to go in and get a key off of these one guys. It took like 10 of them to drop one, and then I took it back, and then I also completed the 100% thing, and then I got to open up I got a cache, and when I opened up the cache, I got a bracer that was 440 gear. So
nice.
440 gear is pretty decent.
I'll have to jump back in and get Oz up to 440 gear then. I was contemplating getting in today, but then I was like, nah, I'm still a little feeling a little sluggish from being out on the road. So I'll probably jump into that. Probably maybe tomorrow or Tuesday I'll jump in and maybe record a little bit of it.
Maybe show everybody how you actually start it, because that'd be
I think,
good information. I know how to start it. I did it, but
yeah, I think Oz right now is in the underwater area, or the area that from the last update.
Oh, but
it's been that long since I played. Like it's.
You just go back to the main city.
I figured that's how you would get there. I'm just saying that's where he's parked right now. Is down there.
There's a portal.
No. He was. I got my World Breaker mount, so he's probably in the Cavern of Time.
Yikes!
Where he's at.
Where's your Hearthstone? Because mine's going to the inn in the new city, whatever it's called.
I have 3 Hearthstones, so I gotta figure out which one I need to take. But one of them is in the newer area. So
I think you get a quest, and then it tells you to go talk to the king in Stormwind, and unless you're Horde, then there's probably another story. But
yeah, I'm wondering how that side's gonna go.
I don't have any max level characters over there. I only got Alliance.
See, I want to. I'm Horde at heart, but with like when I play with my brother and them, it's like, oh, we're Alliance. I'm like, okay, I'm only doing this because I want to play with other people, so I switched over. But like before that, Oz was always an undead warlock, always. And it wasn't until like I started playing more with my brother and his friends that it was like, we're Alliance. Fine, okay, I'll move my main over.
I like the goblins.
I like the undead for the most part.
Goblins, when they sell stuff, they sell it like their max reputation, and every time they sell something.
Oh yeah. That's their one bonus. Yeah,
one of their
good bonus.
Good bonus. Yeah, just like that's for me. But all right,
this will be a good expansion because we finally get to. I think we finally get to see N'Zoth, and he's a bit of a badass old god.
Well, it's not really an expansion; it's content. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, you know what I mean. It's going into because this is it. They're wrapping up.
Yeah,
this will be the wrap up that will lead into the introduction event, which will then lead us into the next one. So
yeah, indeed, that's what they were saying, that everybody better be happy with this for like a year, because that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, what's gonna happen is everyone's gonna go through and do it, and then they're gonna get all the raids knocked out, and then there's gonna be a lull for a little while, and then once the introduction event comes, it's going to surge, and then once the expansion's out, it's going to stay up there for a while, and then there's going to be that mass decline again. So every expansion's that way with WoW. Because some people like it, some people will be like, no, this sucks. I want to go back to Wrath of the Lich King or whatever, and they lose a lot of people. So
yeah, I'll be glad to be at a starting point with everybody else when the expansion starts, because right now I'm playing catch up no matter who I play. It's just all catch up.
Oh yeah, that's fine though. The catch up stuff is good to have in there, so people that have taken a break come back can level up, jump right into that catch up mode, and then they're caught up with their friends. That was the whole point of bringing this catch up events, was to get it, or to quickly level up alts in case you wanted to maybe switch from your mains. It didn't take you forever to get to that point to where you could jump into the raids. So I understand the thought behind it. Old school me who was like, oh, this should be hard. It's like, those are the days of the past. I don't even have that much time to dedicate anymore. So let's make it easy.
I get all that, but what's frustrating for me is that they tie reputation into the flying stuff every single time, and I never can get enough reputation because I don't play enough, and it pisses me off that everybody else is flying around me and I'm the same level as them, but I can't fly because I don't have all this reputation. I didn't sit around and grind, and I didn't get flying for this expansion, the last expansion, or the one before that. Because I just don't have the time to do it.
Oh, I did for Legion, but I played a lot of Legion, though. I really enjoyed that content. However, I did not enjoy this most current one. So I don't have flying yet. I'm like this close. I got to finish getting exalted with the turtles, and I hate them. They're the worst reputation to grind out because another turtle has to make it to the water, and I really just don't care. You know?
Just know that if you're playing with me, if you don't have a flying mount that you can put me on with you, then I'm grounded.
No, I have one that yeah.
So, anyways.
I had one you could ride.
Go on to the next one. Bad news.
Gonna
call you Bad News Oz.
Sorry to announce it, but The Last of Us Part 2 is delayed. It's considered probably the most anticipated sequel of all time. Is by Sony and Naughty Dog, and they announced it in October, but as of I think this was Friday or Thursday, they announced the delay, and it was initially slated to release February 21st, but now we are looking at May 29th. So,
not horrible.
I don't know if this is a council, like waiting for the next council, because that doesn't match up with it. I think this is just due to developmental.
Yeah.
By looking at the release date, I think it's a development, like, hey, we need to...
If it was console related, you would think that it would be a launch release when the console comes out.
Yes.
So I'm with you on that one. I think this is more of they need polish, they need to fix bugs, they need to get it right.
Yep. Most definitely.
If you look over the last couple of years, the developers have been releasing games and then patching them afterwards.
Mm-hmm. And that's to the detriment of themselves, because most players absolutely despise the fact that you release a unpolished product.
Exactly. So what's the saying? If you release a bad game, it's bad forever. If a good game is delayed, then it's what you know what I'm talking about. What's that phrase?
I can't remember when it comes to that, but I'm much like everybody else that I watch game or talk to who games or whatever. I can handle a delay. Will I be a little disappointed? Yes. But I'll be less disappointed than you releasing a game that is crap, and then you try to patch to not make it crap, kind of like Anthem. Anthem they basically released an alpha, and it has been in constant development and upgrade constantly. Like I rarely log into, like, I wanted to like that game because it had such a cool concept, but when you play it, you're like, no, this is bad. And no matter how much they try to fix it, it's like it's hard for me to want to go back and give it that chance, because they really they left a horrible taste in my mouth and burned me on that, because that was one I got behind. I pre-ordered it, and I was excited to play it. What little they released for the test, or the alphas and betas, was pretty good. But then when you get the whole game, you're like, no, this is not what I signed on for. And unfortunately, they were doing that for a while, and I think they're finally getting it. Like, hey, we can't release these games because, we're getting the money, but then they're not coming back and buying the DLCs or
the cosmetics or anything.
And it's like I'm totally down for cosmetics, because I'm one of the people, like in the Division 2, like I missed one cosmetic event where I didn't get everything. But the only reason I get everything is because I throw money at it, because I don't have the time. But I want all the cosmetics, because when I do play, I want to look cool while I'm killing shit. But if you burn me, then I'm not going to throw the $20 at it. I'm not going to do all of this because you burned me. And I think they're finally getting it. I mean, look at our favorite horse to kick when it comes to these type of things, which is Fallout. It's no one's buying the cosmetics either, other than the true diehards, which is a very small segment of the overall people who enjoy that IP. It's just that is a black spot on that IP's history is that game, because they rushed it and then it was junk, and now they're trying to like fix it. But you lost me on like day 4 when I was like, it's a ghost town other than when I see another player.
Imagine if they would have taken Fallout 76 and put it in beta for like 6 months. Delayed it 6 months, put it in beta for 6 months. Imagine the polished product they would have had at the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, if they would have taken their time, put NPCs in the game, give it a good story, good quests. I mean, this is stuff that they could have done in 6 months' time, like you said. But instead, they were like, no, we're going to release it, and then we're going to kind of release the story where it's the robots and all of that. And it's like, no, that's not how any of the other Fallout IPs have been. You're just trying to make up this story for your poor developmental time. And like for a while there, I loved Bethesda, you know, and how well they did. And then all of a sudden they released this turd, and I'm like, if you release another Fallout, it better be good, or you're going to kind of lose permanently when it comes to that, because you took one of my favorite IPs and you kind of crapped on it and then sold it to me and said, have fun. And then now you're doing that, you know, personal server thing, whatever the hell that was called.
Yeah, that whole thing is garbage. But
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're learning. You know, things go in cycles, so people are seeing the bad things that are happening. They're like, well, we don't want to be like them, so let's do this right, delaying it. Yeah, so
I can handle a delay. Honestly, I can put my big boy pants on and handle a delay, kick and scream and bash you online, because odds are I'm going to actually like it. You know, I'm going to like what I get, as opposed to just gimme. And then it's like, well, this sucked. What the hell? You know, and it's like, had I just waited, you know, and given you time. So at this point, take your time. Release a good game, because if it's good, I'll keep coming back. I'll spend money on cosmetics and DLCs and stuff like that, but it has to be good. If not, I'm just going to drop it like it's hot and walk away.
There's too many other games out there for us to be like worried about that.
Exactly. And now it's kind of like I got a side project I'm working on for the channel that it's like, okay, I'm kind of focused on that, trying to get all of that laid out. You know, so it's like, well, what limited time I've got for gaming between, you know, the stuff that we do outside of that, work, family, it's like I've got limited game time, so I want to enjoy what it is I'm playing. So make it good.
Exactly. It's got to be good. It's got to draw us in the first 30 minutes.
And
it can't be like it gets good at the 10th hour. Well, I'm already out by then.
Yep, and that's kind of like with the Star Wars game. Like, yes, some of the gameplay's kind of wonky, but the story is good. And my side project will fill in some of the questions on how that game fits in. But, you know, it's one of those where, like, if it was bad, I wouldn't have played it to where I'm at now. So, well, I probably would have bashed it and left a bad review. But
a lot of people like, Fallen Order, so...
It was good comic, because basically that's how it kind of started. It was graphic novel type stuff, and then when Disney got it, it was like, oh, this is the good stuff that we like. That's in the expanded universe now, as opposed to Lucas, who just kind of accepted everything, because the more that there's out there, the more it draws more people in. Like, you know, I'm a bit of like the Old Republic stuff, like the history of the Sith, the history of the Mandalorians, you know, but once Disney got it, it was like, okay, we like this part, but we really don't care about this. Oh, we like Han and Chewie, but we don't like their backstory, so we're going to change it to this, even though the original backstory was way better than what you put out in Solo, you know. So it's, I don't know, man, that's just another tangent for Star Wars altogether, and I could go off on that forever. And again, I think that's kind of like where I'm kind of navigating, is trying to focus in a little bit on that Star Wars niche a little bit.
All right, we still have some stories to go through, so
let's
push through. That's right. No, it's good. Banter is good. But yeah, we gotta try to stay focused. So Shenmue 3 is getting first DLC soon. So Shenmue 3's first DLC, Battle Rally, is arriving the 21st of January 2020. So what, 2 days? Battle Rally offers fresh gaming activities and a race unlike any other, as contestants engage in head-to-head battles whilst racing their way through the course. Furthermore, for the first time in Shenmue 3, players will have the chance to step into the shoes of another protagonist. In addition to playing the hero of the story, players can also choose the treasure-seeking... Oh, this is going to be rough. Wu Ying Ren. And making her first appearance in the game, Ryo's sparring partner, Wei Zhen, crossed the finish line in first place to win some truly awesome items. So if you're a Shenmue 3 player and you're wanting some DLC, it's coming. I don't know how this fits into the story. A racing game inside of Shenmue? Yeah, I don't know.
Could not tell you.
No idea. I have Shenmue 1 and 2. I got for free for having Game Pass. I shouldn't say for free because I pay for Game Pass, but I got with Game Pass. And I tried going back to 1. Oh my gosh, controls are horrid. Horrible. It's hard to go back. It's very, very hard to go back. Alright, so here you go. Be the bearer of bad news once again.
Alright, so I hate to... This is another one that kind of hurts a little bit, but... Doom Eternal has been delayed. So it was initially announced at E3 2018 with an August, right? Release? Am I right?
That's what it was seen in August.
In August. Yeah. However, the development. However, they're now saying the new release is March. No. It announced the new release, March release. So it was originally going to be out this past year in November, right?
Yeah.
And now it's going to be March 20th. Sorry, I got a little mixed up there. But yeah, that is another delay that is going to upset a few people because. But again, if it's good, and from what I've seen, this is going to be. If you like the really gory stuff like I do, this will be good. So the last Doom was good. This one will be even better. Again, I can suck up a delay on this one as long as it's really good. So sorry, everybody.
Yeah, Doom Eternal is delayed. You know, I have a desktop wallpaper that has this gothic like scene that's overshooting like I don't even know. It could be part castle, could be part whatever, but it's just like this real gothic looking thing, and it's just epic looking. And when they released it, they said it was like it's a prototype for whatever engine or whatever. It turned out that was for Doom Eternal. So it's just like I was like, oh, that's pretty dang cool. That's pretty dang cool.
Doom Eternal, from what I have seen, it looks to be good. So again, be patient. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, hopefully. It's, November 22 of last year now to March. That's not too bad.
No, not at all. But it's just one of those things where delays are becoming more of a norm because studios put this target out there and then it takes longer and longer because studios have shrunk over the years. They don't have this massive manpower like they used to. So they're running a little bit on the leaner side. So, they throw that target out there and hope to hit it, and then they got to move it. So, not like it used to be when they had massive, large number of employees working on the project, and they could crank them out. They just can't right now. So,
well, it's also the games are getting bigger and more involved. It's just nature.
Yeah, but a lot of that's just the engine. The engine can handle a lot. It's the less people are working on it. I mean, look at WoW. I mean, its team is not as big as what it used back during Wrath and stuff like that. They've really shrunk their team down, or they've like let people go, or they've moved to other projects within Blizzard. So it's just one of those things to be expected that, they're not going to hit every launch date. So.
Yeah. All right, so next story is Epic Games Store weekly free games in 2020. So on the Epic Games Store blog or whatever it is, they released a little letter to everybody. It says, Happy New Year. New decade means new games. And we're looking at a great start with tons of amazing titles coming exclusively to the Epic Games Store in 2020. To kick things off, we're extending our weekly free game program throughout 2020. Every single week, come back to claim your game. Once claimed, it's yours to keep forever. Now, they had like a thing of how much money and everything, how much selling and everything that they were doing on there. And then they went on to say, thank you to the amazing players and developers for being part of the Epic Game Store community. In 2020, we'll continue to lead the way in open and developer-friendly store terms with 88% revenue sharing, support for developers and publishers, payment systems, and keyless purchases, integrations with Humble, more PC stores coming soon. On top of that, we're offering integration with Epic Platform Independent and Store Independent online services with more than 300 million customers and 1.7 billion friend connections. Epic is also helping developers support cross-platform play using the tools we built for Fortnite with online play across PC, Mac, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, iOS, and Android. Dauntless from Phoenix Labs is the first third-party game with Epic-powered support for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Many more cross-platform games are coming to the Epic Game Store in 2020. So I just thought those numbers were kind of interesting. 300 million customers. 1.7 billion friend connections inside of their app. Those are huge numbers.
Yeah, I wonder how skewed that is, though. Like,
well,
how many are those? I'm just saying, it's one of those things where every company skews their numbers a little bit. I'm just wondering.
That's 300 million accounts that they have inside of the Epic Game Store. That you can't skew that.
Okay, I'm just saying that's a lot, and I just didn't find those. I find that to just be a little offish, but that's fine.
Well, think about Fortnite, right? On PC, this is the place to get it.
It is, and I always forget about Fortnite because it's a game I don't play.
Right,
but I really don't enjoy.
It's a huge community, though.
Yeah, it's a huge community. So yeah, I always forget that it's powered by Epic, because a lot of the people that I game with, you and me don't really have a problem with it, but like my brother and like people like I raid with or did raid with have a huge problem with Epic, and how they have done things and their practice or whatever. I personally don't, but it's just one of those things where I start looking at it and you read about it on like Reddit and whatnot, and they're not as well liked. So, but that's why I was like, that's a little skewed, but I always forget about Fortnite because it's just something
You also got to remember that most of the people that say something are the vocal minority. If they say something bad, it's usually the vocal minority, unless everybody's saying it, which is very rare.
I mean, there's a lot of people that really don't like it, but how many of those people don't like it but still
use it?
Yeah.
I got no problem with it. It's just another launcher for me. It's like whatever.
And that's again one of those things where back when Steam was that platform, it was the launcher for everything, and then everybody started doing their own launcher to get away from Steam and how much they were taking from you and all of that. So yeah, I mean, why not? It doesn't take that much to develop it, have your own launcher. It's just more stuff to clutter up my damn drive and my desktop, but whatever, I'll suck it up.
Yeah, the launcher stuff isn't that large though. It's the games you get on it.
But it's like, okay, how many launchers do I have now? Bethesda's, Blizzard's, EA's, Epic's. I could shrink this down and go down the whole list, but it's like there's a lot of launchers out there now.
I've got just looking at my desktop. I've got Blizzard. I've got Arc. I've got Origin. I have the Epic Game Store, Steam, and so I mean that's just looking at my desktop right now with the icons. GOG Galaxy. Mm-hmm. So I know and I get it, but to me it's just an icon.
Well, I prefer to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, a company should have their own launcher so they can keep it in house and keep the money to themselves and not have to share it with. With like Steam or whoever. So that's fine. It's just another damn launcher.
I know. And let's not get into our video launchers where we have Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, and let's not even start that.
That's not even that as well. Like I said, it's one of those things where it's like I have my gaming drive, but now my gaming drive is so full it's flowing over into my storage drive and that's filling up and I'm like, God, why are these things overflowing?
I just got a 4 terabyte drive so I could do the videos that we have and archive those. So believe me, I know. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I'm running out of space on mine, so I'm looking at getting 2 new drives here soonish. So yes, it's gonna suck.
All right, continue with your bearer of bad news over there.
Okay, yes. Unfortunately, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, is being delayed.
Hold on a second. We just got to say, sorry, fan. Sorry,
yes,
fan.
Sorry, fan. Yes. Not sure. Oh, it needs a few extra weeks to apply polish, which is fine. Again, I can handle polish. But it is being bumped back from March 3rd to April 10th. So not a huge push, but it's still a push that... Again, the week before, around the New Year, we had announced that, again, this was one of them, was what to expect, and now it's being pushed back.
Yep.
So, but this one will be worth it. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it just to see what Final Fantasy VII will play like modernly updated, And if it's successful, are they going to go back and update others that have been successful as well?
I think 7 is beloved.
Tactics, or are they going to do...
Tactics would be interesting.
Exactly. Like, Tactics has a huge following. Is that one that they would update as well?
I don't know.
I enjoyed Tactics, but, Then
you might like Disgaea, then.
I don't know. Like I said, I was watching you play the other day when I was stuck there in St. Louis, and I watched the game, and I'm like...
That's not Disgaea, though. That was...
No, but it's the JRPG type thing.
No, Disgaea is the tactical...
I'd have to look. Maybe.
I got some videos up. Go check it out.
Okay.
I got a basics video up. Go check that one out. See if you...
But, again, this is... Final Fantasy, for me, has been pretty much as JRPG as I usually get, something. But, again, it's one of those things where I probably need to give it a shot, but I don't think I'm quite there yet.
Yeah.
But yes, unfortunately, this one is delayed.
So this one was set in March, just like Cyberpunk was. Mm-hmm. So when this one moved out, I was not actually upset. I was like, yes, I don't have to choose now. But now Cyberpunk's back. Well, it's March. What else is coming out in March? Cyberpunk's going, September, right? Isn't that what we said?
Yes.
Yes,
September.
So that's going to be the end of the year. We're going to be, boom. You know what's going to hurt Cyberpunk when it goes to September is Game of the Year discussion, because it's so far. It either help them or hurt them because it's so late in the year. It'll either help them because it's like right on everybody's going to be talking about it when it comes out if it's really good, or because it's coming out so late that it might get past the date of being able to be included in those.
Kind of like with Fallen Order. It was released so late in the year that it wasn't even possibly included.
In a lot of them. And now Fallen Order is not going to be considered for this year because it's... Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good for what it is. It's a great storytelling game, and that's what they need is... because I think that's where, again, not to get on my Star Wars tangent, but I think that's where it's going to go a little bit, is the games are going to fill in a lot of the gaps. So
Hopefully. But I'm just saying, in general, game releases late in the year, the last 3 months, sometimes get overlooked. Usually, if they do like the 4th month out from the end of the year, then they're usually good. But on that September, November, October, that's just really
no, because the one you did was a late. Shit, we just talked about it earlier. You just finished uploading a bunch of the videos to it.
Death Stranding.
God, why can I not remember that? But yeah, that one was included in the game of the year, and it was later in the year release.
Yeah, maybe it was early enough though. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying I also think it just has.
I guess it's September, so it is 4 months out, so it should be okay. It should be included in all the discussions, so it might actually help it.
Well, I mean, if with it being so fresh in people's minds, it might help it. If it's too early in the year, I played it, beat it, moved on to the next thing. Where games coming out later in the year tend to be more in your forefront when you're thinking about, okay, let's game of the year. Let's all go in there and vote on it.
I think the exception was God of War, because that came out January, February.
But God of War was
so good. It's so good.
And rumor has it, I was just reading, I didn't put it in my notes because I was the bearer of bad news today, but they're saying that the next one's in development.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me at all, except for Cory Barlog has been seen at a lot of different places other than his studio making the game. So that's the only thing that I'd be worried about.
But he's the director. He's not actually making the game.
Yeah, but he's got to direct him in the right direction. So
yeah,
he played a big part in God of War.
Well, so did Todd in all of these other with Fallout. But he's not always there.
I know.
They got to be out doing other things. That's it's like when I'm out on the road, my boss isn't right there telling me what to do. I mean, people should know as adults, this is the deadline. Make this game.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's a rumor. I'm just saying, I read it Friday, I think, when I was at the airport on my phone when I was sitting there waiting.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I just worry about it being too much like the first one, which wouldn't be a bad thing, but not innovating on what they already have and adding, stuff to it. That's what I worry about.
We don't have enough to know where they're gonna go now.
Yeah.
That are they gonna jump? Are they gonna cross into another realm of gods now? I mean,
I think he's gonna have to battle some of the other.
So you still think he's gonna be with the Nordic gods? And okay, well, him throwing down with Odin would be pretty badass.
Yeah, and the end of the first one kind of hinted towards that. So
I'd like to see him throw down, like a real throwdown with Thor and with Odin.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah,
definitely.
Take that damn hammer.
You're not the only one that can lift Majorn. Let's not take the Avenger route. That was kind of I thought that was. Yeah, we won't go there.
Yeah, we won't go there. No.
All right.
That would take me down another path.
Another path.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever talked about the Avenger movies though. So
no, I mean it's one of those that again I could sit there and go, he should have been able to pick up Majorn because he was worthy enough to do so, worthy in heart enough to pick it up. Just because it was Thor's hammered and Majorn was his, doesn't mean it's only he can pick it up. It's whoever is worthy.
Yeah.
And that's what he says. Whoever is worthy when he tosses it out there, and it happens to be when Captain America moved it a little bit, he was starting to become worthy. So it's. Yeah, there's lots of things in that series we could break down. All right, so the next story is Temtem. I know you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Most people don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to this game. Nope.
Set to enter early access on January 21st. So Temtem, spelled Temtem. The Capture Monster and Use Them in Your Party MMORPG is set to enter early access on January 21st on Steam. If you're interested in a Pokemon clone that is an MMORPG, then check this one out. And MMORPG might be a little rough. It's multiplayer. It's a multiplayer Pokemon-esque type game where you go around and you gather up Temtems and you fight with them and that kind of stuff. And for me, it looks really, really interesting. The only thing that I'm not sure on is if there's a cost to getting into early access. Everything indicates that there will be. It'll probably be around $30 to $35, but until Steam actually puts it on their page, it's too hard to know.
Yeah.
But it looked very interesting to me, and that's why I'm covering it. Give it some little bit of press so people can go in and check it out if they want to, and also support the game early and get help them develop it, because that's what early access is. So, yep. Get out there if you like Pokemon and check this game out. All right, more bad news.
All right, so Marvel's Avengers is delayed.
No! Actually, this one I'm not mad at. They needed it.
Yeah, well, we needed it, so gamers, because everything was kind of stacking up. So Avengers won't come out until September instead of May 15th. So September 4th instead of May 15th. It basically, days before Final Fantasy Remake pushed back, these guys pushed theirs back. So, we're looking at, like I said, a lot of big titles that we were kind of looking forward to are being pushed back, and this one really didn't give as a reason why. I'm just going to go with the needs more polish excuse, and
well, when I said it needed it, I meant for that reason. Every gameplay video I ever saw to me looked like it was early development footage, and it needed polish. And this gives it that 6-7 months that it needs to polish. So hopefully it'll be a good game when it comes out. Everybody said it was they enjoyed their time playing it, but nobody ever came out and said it was a good game. So that's what I'm hoping they make it. They make it from a game that is enjoyable to play to a good game that's enjoyable to play. And from what I understand, they plan on supporting this game after it releases. What that means, I don't know. It's not games as a service per se, but they plan on supporting this one moving forward. Maybe new stories, new heroes, whatever. But they do plan on supporting this after it release, from what I've been hearing. So, yeah, that's why I say I think it needs polish. All the videos I've seen definitely need polish.
Yeah.
So, yep. Anything else on that?
No. I mean, again, that's not one I was, like, oh, gimme. It's one that it's like, okay, it's on the radar. Could be good, could be bad, depends, So this might give it the time to be good instead of bad, where it's, instead of buying it and dropping it and never finishing it, you might play it all the way through.
But that September release, though.
For me, I mean, it's not going to affect me in any way, because I'm not go straight towards Cyberpunk. Yeah. You could have this one. I mean, that doesn't affect me any. I want Cyberpunk.
Did they give a date for Cyberpunk? Was it like 21st or something? 17th.
Yeah.
17th. And this one is the 4th. So that would give me 2 weeks to play it if I wanted to. I'll have to wait and see what's out there, because I am playing Cyberpunk. Yeah. I mean, you might be doing the content for the channel, but I am playing it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
So I'll be playing that while I'm editing videos or whatever. That'll be my game to play. That's what I do. Like right now, I'm playing Shadow of War, Mordor.
Uh-huh.
Or however you say that, Mordor, Shadow of War. I'm trying to play through that.
Is that the one where it's the hunter and the...
It's the Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
You're the ranger with the ghost, right?
Yeah, the white wraith, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that I loved that first game that they released. That was good, and unfortunately, I never finished it because I got sidetracked on other stuff. But
I
did enjoy that one. Yeah, I really did.
The second one is pretty good as well. They took it a little it in a different direction. Still has a lot of story and stuff like that, but they also made it where you have to build up your army. So you actually basically turn orcs into your army and make them your captains, and you can fight with them inside of battles and stuff. So they did some interesting things. What they did wrong is microtransactions that were part of the progression, basically.
Really?
In the sense that you could pay for these things and like progress quickly, or you could not and progress, regular pace.
Interesting.
That kind of thing. So, there was a lot of complaints about that early on. Since then, though, they've gotten rid of all that. They still have microtransactions with cosmetics and stuff, I guess, but not the stuff that ties into progression. You can't go and buy orcs for your army, that kind of stuff. So,
well, yeah, I don't like that type of stuff. So, where you have to buy into it to progress.
But they did fix it. There's a lot of larger enemies you got to fight and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. If you like it, try to get it on sale. It should be on sale all over the place, and try to get the one with they added different storylines so you can play as different characters. So make sure whatever one you get has those as well.
Okay.
So, all right, next story. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 gets a PC release date of March 23rd. So this released a couple months back on PlayStation 4. It's now coming to PC, so I'm glad I waited because I want to get it on PC. The PC will have the following improvements. It'll have ultra-wide screen support, fully customizable key bindings, enhanced visuals, additional high-speed mode options, now up to 6 times faster. Not exactly sure what that means. If that means like combat you can speed up, I don't know. And autosave functionality, which I don't know why they didn't have that in the regular game, but yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
But anybody who knows, I'm doing the Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, starting from the beginning. I'm working my way through that. I've got another video in the can. I need to make some more, but I'm working on that, so I'll be doing that. Yeah, another one of those JRPGs that you're not really into.
I like watching you play them, but I don't know if it's something that I would sit down and play per se. I've realized that it's like, okay, this is why Twitch is around, because I don't want to personally play it, but I don't mind having it up on my third screen while I'm doing something and watch somebody else play it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, I can see why people would enjoy it, but it's a little too cartoony, and it sometimes does. I like serious story, and so I was watching you play the other one while I was in St. Louis. The female squeaky voice annoys the ever-living crap out of me. It does. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't like that. That is that's one thing that has always annoyed me about those type of games.
Yeah, but just like some male characters annoy me, I want to punch them, and that kind of stuff. They're there for a reason. I think it is for that reason, to make you be like, man, I just want to strangle this character. So,
but yeah, that's what annoys me. So I'm like,
yeah.
And it seems like they always get the same voice person to do that voice. It's like it's always the same sounding.
There are only a handful, from what I've seen, of groups of companies in America that localize the games and the anime. So they cross over in anime as well. So you will get a lot of crossover, and they use the same voice actors, actresses in those. So there is a lot of crossover, and you get a lot of the same voices. So it is what it is, but I enjoy it. I don't really have any of those other than Gohan's crying in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Oh, geez, man. even watching Dragon Ball Z when it came out in the first arc with the Saiyans, every time Gohan would cry, I'd be like, oh, just shut up. You whiny little baby. But so I'm with you. I know there are some characters that are annoying and just like that way, but I think that they're supposed to be. All right, so this next one I'm a little sad about. I was looking forward to this one.
Oh, well, this one's been constantly delayed. So, Skull and Bones, which is kind of a hat tip to Black Flag, is being delayed. It's one of the ones that with Watch Dogs and Rainbow Six has been pushed back. But with this one, and well, actually, a lot of these guys had that ambiguous or that we didn't have an exact date. We just had a rounded off time. And this has been one that's been delayed before. It was pushed back by a year in 2018 and is now being pushed back yet again. And every time I see this one, it looks really good. Like, I'm like, this could be really good because I didn't think I was going to like Black Flag as much as I did. And I really, that's what brought me back to Assassin's Creed was Black Flag. And I'm like, pirates and assassins, that's a really good mix. And being open world, like I can sail or sink ships all day long. That's always fun. But yeah, I was been kind of disappointed that this one just has always fallen to the wayside. It seems like another more important IP has been pushed ahead of this one, and this one looks amazing. It's like, just get it done.
Yeah,
get it done, get it out there, and if it fails, it fails. But at least get it done and get it out there.
It does look amazing. I'm with you there. It reminds me of Black Flag with different coating of paint over it. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Kitty Cat wants in or out.
She's.
No, kitty.
So this one looks really good, and I'm kind of worried at this point because it is getting delayed. That is there a problem with the development of this? And you wouldn't think that there would be because it's they could just basically take Black Flag and change the story and make it not Assassins, Templars, and boom, you got yourself a game. It's just got to be a halfway interesting story.
Well, again, it's one of those, it's the first of its IP, and they have all of these other big name IPs that they got to keep feeding the story into.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs and Rainbow Six and The Division and stuff like that. It's like, those are the ones that have been done, they've been successful with them, except for the last Ghost Recon. But previously, Ghost Recon was another good one that they had to feed the story on. But I think this one would have been a good break because they proved they found out in the one Assassin's Creed where you play as the Native American assassin. I can't remember which one that's called, but it was before Black Flag, and there was some sailing in it. And
Rogue.
No, not Rogue. It was something else. Was it Rogue?
Rogue.
Rogue was Rogue was the assassin turned Templar.
Was that after Black Flag then?
No, the one I'm talking about was before, and that's where the sailing kind of came into it, and then it was Black Flag. I think Rogue was a small title. I could be wrong.
Rogue wasn't a small title, but it kind of was a spin-off almost. So what was before Black Flag then? There was...
I'm looking. So, Origin...
Because I've played them all. I just lose track of the order.
Where is it? I'm scrolling here and I'm just going to do... It's Assassin's Creed 3. It's the one about where you play as the it takes place during the yeah, it was that was about right time frame.
Oh, wait, the one that was before Black Flag, wasn't that the American Revolution one?
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 3.
No, that was what?
Right?
Revelations?
Not Revelations.
No, because that's still Ezio. Black Flag, Road, Unity, Syndicate. So, yeah, I guess it had to be 3.
3, yeah. Actually, it had a specific name, but it didn't.
Yeah,
but that was the one that brought the sailing. That one brought sailing into the game. And then they took that because that part of the game was successful, and then they just built where you're a pirate. And
yeah, you're right. It says naval battles were introduced. So yeah,
Yep.
I never played that one all the way through. I played a couple hours and something else took my interest. I might have to go back since it's remastered. I might have to try that again.
It's remastered now. But yeah, it brought the sailing into the game, and that's what they were like. Oh, this is, and the feedback about it was that was the best part of the game. And I watched like my brother play it, and it was really good. And then all of a sudden they were like, "Well, Black Flag's coming." I'm like, "Well, I'll skip 3 and just play Black Flag." Yeah. So, and like I said, I played the hell out of Black Flag.
Black Flag was amazing. I think the only things I didn't do in Black Flag was there was the, all the name ships, and then like there was the end ones that you had to fight.
The dreadnoughts, those big ones.
The very last ones to get the achievement for that.
The dreadnoughts. Those were scary though, because you're in this little ship. Which was your advantage, because that was your advantage, was your speed. Mm-hmm. The dreadnoughts don't have the speed; they have the firepower. So when they're firing off their mortars, you just drop all of your sails, and then you start hauling. Well, and that's how you also sunk dreadnought, was use your mortars. Like to get they're so slow, you can drop them, but you had to get and go. I never beat all of them. I beat like 1 or 2 of them.
I beat easy. Most of them except for like the last main one at the end. And the reason why I didn't do that one, because I knew what level that one was, and I was under leveled, so I was going to spend some time and level my stuff up and make sure I was all maxed and everything, and that never happened. That never happened. I never got to that. So yeah. But I love Black Flag, man. I mean, Black Flag was awesome. I never went back in and played Freedom.
Syndicate.
No, there was. Syndicate. They had a DLC for Black Flag where you played as a freed slave or something.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either. Played a little bit. It wasn't that good.
Yeah, I never played that.
Those micro games, those micro ones, are like one that takes place in China and in Russia. Those weren't that fun. I own them.
Oh, the side scrollers, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy those at all. I enjoy I really didn't even enjoy Syndicate. That one was...
Syndicate was rough because they made it more difficult than it needed to be, and...
that constant swapping between the twins, it
wasn't really that for me.
Well, it didn't feel assassin-ish enough. Like, you were assassins, but then you were building this gang. It was like Gangs of New York-ish.
Yeah.
And I was like... Okay, but no. I mean, if it followed that thing for a while where it was like every other Assassin's Creed was really good and the other ones were kind of like until we got like Origin and then Odyssey. And then I was like, well, both those were good. So
I'm hoping Ragnarok
Odyssey wasn't assassin-ish. There was no Assassin's Order in that one. So
yeah. What are your thoughts on the rumored Ragnarok Viking Assassins game?
So, I don't see how the Creed could go over there. I really don't, because Vikings really were kind of like raider-ish. So they would go, they'd set up a settlement, they would they would just raid and take what they wanted and left. So I really don't see how that's assassin-ish, other than... And Ragnarok is the end of days. So that's like what Ragnarok is. It's the end of time, or their ending. So I got to see more and read more on it once they slowly release more.
Now, if you're an assassin and you're going up against the Vikings...
That would be interesting.
Everybody's assuming you're going to be a Viking, but if you're an assassin going against the Vikings, that would be cool.
Well, the cover art what art I have seen on it, shows a Viking on it who kind of looks like he might be wearing assassin's
But that's all leaked stuff, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying what I have, inaccurate or accurate, makes me think you're an assassin Viking. Which
Viking
assassin. I'm like, Viking assassin. I don't know about that. Maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, now if it's like Vikings going up against the Templars, that might be cool. well-trained, organized military versus a Viking horde.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see.
So maybe
there could be some good Navy battles.
Could be. So maybe you're an assassin and you're trying to recruit the Vikings to your cause and fight the Templars.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And you're gonna have a gang of Vikings instead of a gang in.
I don't know, man. I'm just speculating. I don't know. I would play it. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, I think
it might be the one where it's like this was a dud. Just saying, it could be a dud. They've had two good ones in a row, and a dud's got to come eventually. Yeah.
No, don't jinx it, man. Because I like the Vikings. I like the Viking thought. I wish they would have went back to Japan and they would let you be like a ninja clan or something. Even though it doesn't really fit, it fits better. It fits better than Vikings.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Because the old man in the mountain, which is where the assassins started, could have had some Oriental people go there and learn from him.
Maybe. I'm just saying, maybe. I don't know.
Oh. So, yeah, I don't know. I want Ragnarok to be announced. I want to see what it is.
Me too.
Probably E3. Hopefully E3.
Yeah.
So
that's my guess.
All right, so sorry for all the people that were looking forward to the games that we just crushed your dreams on. You got to wait for. Just think that when you do get those games, they're going to be better than they are right now. That's the hopes. So,
well, I mean, any type of time that they could take to polish it more, you're going to get a better end product. I mean, yeah, it kind of sucks that I pre-ordered it and now I got to wait. But understand, I mean, it's. It's better to, wait and see what happens than rush it and have another, I don't know, Fallout 76 or whatever, where it's just a dud. A dud. Yeah.
All right, so games releasing for this week. There's really nothing major. The only thing that caught my eye was the Kingdom Hearts Remind DLC that's coming out January 23rd. I know there's a lot of people looking for that, but none of the other games that are coming out this week were really anything that I wanted to talk about. So, yep, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. I know fans looking forward to that. Maybe some other people.
That might be a good one. I mean, Kingdom Hearts been a really good IP, but yeah, that's all I saw coming out.
And next one's you.
Sure. Epic Game Store free games for the week. Right now, Horus is free until the 23rd, and I actually watched the gameplay on it, and it looks really good. And they're saying it could potentially, or was good enough to be indie game of the year. So
it looked interesting from what I saw.
It looked interesting. And then on the 23rd, The Bridge is free until the 30th. So that one, I don't know. Pick it up, play it. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Who cares? It's free.
Put in your library. Leave it there until you want to try something new.
Yep.
So, yeah. Did you see that I released another So Random the other day? Did you check that out?
I did. I just have not watched it.
It was a... Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, with being jet lagged and tired, I just haven't done a whole lot. Like, I haven't even gamed yet, other than to log into like the Old Republic and see what events going on right now. Like, do I want to go do the Gree event, or is it the Bounty Hunter Association or whatever? But yeah, I haven't picked up anything yet. So
how's the population in that game?
It's down to like 3 servers. It really is. So, like, I intentionally took, when I first went into the game, I took an RP server just because I like watching people RP. I absolutely despise it myself. But I also enjoy being the a-hole who, like, when they're having serious RP, like, I'll jump up on the table, take my armor off, and then start dancing, like, to completely break their RP. But some people do good RP, so it's like, you just kind of listen, just read what they're doing. And there's some usually pretty good, like, Sith apprentice stuff, but it's kind of now where it's it's kind of a mixed server. There's still people who RP and people who don't. I just get in, I play. If there are people who want to do a weekly, I'll go do a week. I'll jump into the queue and do a weekly. But I play for the story because I like the Old Republic. That's, depending on how far back you go, there's like Exar Kun and all that stuff. Like, where'd the Sith Order come from? All of that stuff. But the game's good. Now, if you played the Eternal Throne or whatever it was, it would have explained, like, when we were watching Star Wars in the movie theater, and I'm like, this is exactly where it came from. The Eternal Fleet is sitting there, and then when you're watching the Star Wars movie, I hope you guys have seen it, and you see the Eternal Empire sitting there, you're like, okay, Disney, you hacked up the expanded universe, but you just stole the Immortal Emperor's story right from the video game and plopped it right into the movie. I mean, if you're going to go back and play it for that, because you'll be like, Jesus, they did steal it.
Should I play as a Sith or should I play as a Jedi?
That one, it doesn't matter, because it's where after you leave the Hutta planet, it goes into the immortal, the Eternal Throne stuff, where, not to really ruin it, but the Eternal Emperor, he's kind of learned how to live forever, and he got bored with the Sith Empire, so he left, started the Eternal Empire, and that's where he's kind of at now. And you guys kind of run paths, and he was like, "Oh, I started that and it failed, so I moved on to this." And you're like, "Well," like for me, I'm like, "Well, I am a Sith. This is how could you abandon us?" type thing. So it's really good story. Like, I really enjoyed that storyline a lot. But again, that's expanded universe stuff. There's a lot of good, Jedi stuff, Sith stuff in there. But that's all it's about. Like, if you play a bounty hunter, it's like, okay, like the bounty hunter does have a playthrough and he becomes the guy to sit on the throne, but it's like, does that fit? No. It has to be a Jedi or a Sith to do it. So that's to make the story work.
Gotcha.
But yeah, very passionate about Star Wars. If people haven't known, it's like any other religion. But
that's why this project you're working on should be pretty good.
Yeah, we'll see how it turns out. Like I said, it's still early down. Still just writing things out to figure out how I'm gonna format it.
Yeah, things like that take some time. So
yeah. But once I get rolling, I think it's gonna build momentum, because I also want to explain The Mandalorian to you guys. That get to the end of it, and then we'll talk. Did you get to the end of it?
Me? Oh yeah. I've been done with it.
You saw the saber, right?
I saw all that. Yep.
Yeah. So there's a whole big, and that's a big artifact, and that's a big story behind that. And for him to have it, it's like, well, that explains everything now. Where it went. So, yeah, and I want to explain that and explain why certain Mandalorians can take their helmet off and others can't, stuff like that. I want to explain all that stuff. So
should be good stuff coming out then.
And stuff for World of Warcraft, because that's got a slew of knowledge up there too on that, and its history and whatnot. So yeah. I like lore if people haven't figured that out by now. So
yeah, it should be good.
We went on about 92 minutes. It looks like.
We've been hitting it. Yep. So
sorry to everybody who it rolled on way longer than. Didn't mean to.
Who cares? They come for the banter. The news is just I got that. Okay, what are you guys talking about? So yeah, I don't have any cool projects like that going on. I'm working on the Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot, and those other games I was talking about. I have another idea for a So Random video showing another weird style game. The last one I got was a tactical car combat game. Which sounds really bizarre, and it is really bizarre, but it's kind of cool. And I was just getting into it, and the game locked up and kicked me out.
Well, I'm still working on Fallen Order, so I've been really busy with work. Sorry, I've been out on the road a lot, but I'm still trying. I'm still getting videos. I still got to render and put up, and then I got to pick up where I left off. And then when I went back into it, I completely forgot how to play, so I got to start over and learn how to play it again, and then pick up where I left off. Because I travel for work, so if I'm out for a while, I kind of forget how to play games.
Yeah, that does happen. I go back to games that I haven't played in a while and be like, how do I what's the dodge button?
How do I run on the wall again? Or how do I do this or that? But yeah.
Yeah, those puzzles annoyed me.
They annoy me too, but the story's getting good, so I got to get to that. That's what's important, is getting to the good story.
Yep. All right. If there's nothing else, we're gonna go ahead and end this.
I gotta bolt because I gotta get my. So.
Sorry, you cut out right when you said I gotta.
Oh, sorry, I gotta get my young Padawan ready for bed. It's getting close to her bedtime.
She's seemed a little quieter today than normal. I mean,
she's in the bath. She's in the bath right now. So.
I mean, even earlier when we started.
She was out there playing. Yeah.
She's getting better entertaining herself.
An hour earlier, she was really noisy. I think she was just kind of
winding down.
With Mom. Well, Mom's kind of just chilling now too, so she's in that phase of where she's tired. So yeah.
Yep. So yeah. All right. So until next video or stream, everybody take care. Static Buzz and Oz.
Signing off, everybody. Have a good one.
We out.